Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Stars and Stripes Cup Series, presented by Sharp Apparel. Tonight, race number 10 at the Rock, as we are here at Rockingham in the Cup cars. And tonight, a lot of unknown. This track has been ran so many times for this series, but for this Cup car, it could be a little different. Drivers slipping and sliding, trying to find the grip. Will they find it, or could we be seeing someone else be up front figuring out how to get another win for themselves? Tonight, we get to see all that action here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. My name is Sam Dyer. Joining me is going to be that of Zach Hall, Robert Morey running productions. And Zach, tonight, Rockingham, a race that you looked it up, has been ran a lot in this series, but still an unknown, especially with this Cup car.
Yeah, very, very much unknown, and we kind of, it's interesting to look at the trends between each of these cars. Being in a different car in each of the seasons here at the Stars and Stripes League. They started in that ARCA car, transitioned there from the trucks, then to the Xfinity, now to the Cup, and kind of the correlation that I've been seeing mostly is that truck season is correlating a lot with this Cup series so far. Scott Rickard having a little bit of domination in that truck series. He's had a good bit here so far in this Cup series, and he was the winner at Rockingham in the truck series. We'll see if he can produce a good bit of speed here in the Cup car, but we got to look at Travis Butt last season in season 3 getting the win too, so he needs another good run for himself as he's moved up to 13th now in the standings. He's gonna have to move up a couple more spots though, because Timmy McNally there and Kyle McCoy both wins are back in the 13th and 14th positions, so that'd be shooting them up into the positions there ahead of him. So he's got to go up a few more spots if Travis Butt wants to get himself firmly into the playoffs.
Travis Butt going to see if he can find his way back into victory lane. He's had multiple chances this season, but has been spun around, bumped in those final 5 to 3 laps. He's found himself being spun when he was leading or had an opportunity to win the race. So we'll see how the Double Zero can attack, as we are currently under practice with less than a minute to go in practice. Zach, this has been a fun couple of weeks. This is finishing off our 3-race short track racing stint here in the middle of the season. Next week, we're going to be going back to normal mile-and-a-half racing at Charlotte, then road course racing, Darlington, and we've also got that of Gateway at Worldwide Technology Raceway. And then finishing out the regular season is going to be at Talladega. We're seeing our regular season just dwindling away very quickly here. It was incredible to look and see. Look at our schedule. We're on race 10 already of this season.
Yeah, quickly going away. Yeah, we were both mind blown by that. That this season's got to this point already, and now with tonight here, with tonight's race included, we're gonna have 6 races up to those playoffs. And like you went down through those races, it's kind of a mixed bag of tracks here. So it's definitely where we've seen a little bit of where we've seen formations of certain style of racetracks kind of chunked up together at the beginning of the season. Now this final little stretch that we run through, it's going to be a mixed bag of just different types of tracks that they go back and forth to each and every week. And it's going to be a tough time for them to tame them. But here tonight in the Rockingham, it's probably going to be one of the toughest of those tracks, up there with Darlington in the upcoming schedule also. So 2 tough tracks here and old ones that they're going to have to tame. And here tonight, we'll see who can get it done. Can we get a new winner, like you said, here at Rockingham?
Who is going to win at the Rock 150? We'll find out here tonight. It all starts with qualifying. Where is your track position going to start out? And as we see, the 12 of that of Andrew Medlin going to be just waiting on pit road currently. But Zach, I was watching during practice. Weather was a major factor. It was up in the 115s. Looks to still be here even for qualifying. That heat could be a major factor to watch out for. As you can see here, top of the board, ambient temperature 75 degrees, but it's that mostly cloudy that could change the factor of this race, of either the track cooling off, or if the clouds don't show, that track could still be heating up.
The mostly cloudy is always, it's kind of a mixed bag too. Like I was saying, with the schedule, it's a mixed bag with the weather there. That cloud coverage can come over, cool the track off, and really help the grip level of the track turn up. But also those clouds can quickly go away, and that sun will beam down and heat the track right back up. But yeah, this hot surface here with this track, how tough it is, how much tire wear we usually see. It's comparable to Darlington. The hotter the surface gets, the more that tire wear gets cranked up also. So going to have to keep very much care of their tires here tonight, as we got that low downforce 750 horsepower package here with this Gen 6 Cup car as the time started to click in. Travis Butt, though, our defending winner from the Xfinity Series, holding on to the top position here as Kyle McCoy, his teammate, takes it away there as Ken Campbell also slots in there.
Well, talking about the defending race winner, here's our defending champion of that Xfinity Series, getting that pole position currently. Can be taken away very quickly as there are some drivers to watch out for. Saw that of Travis Dart pretty high during practice. And a couple of other drivers that were kind of surprised me. That of Jason Grattan, going to be a driver to watch out for. But the 13 on screen, it's going to be that of Cameron Sarton, our winner from last week. We even were saying it during the pre-show at Phoenix of a driver to watch out for that could have been getting a win earlier in the season, but finally cracks that win column at Phoenix last week. Zach, could be another racetrack here where we see the 13 might be thriving here tonight.
Oh, he very well could thrive here. He's shown a lot of performances at different tracks that have really proven to show that he goes to every place and runs well. As here's he'll come across for his first time there. It's going to slide him up to the 9th position at this time here. We'll see if he can produce anything fast on the second lap as everybody's gone a little bit quicker so the tires gain heat. But back at what, breaking through last week, I think it's only up here from this 13. We've seen him have the struggles of finishing out those results. He finished it out last week. Now we'll see what he can produce after he's got that monkey off his back.
Grattan comes across the line. He's going to be taking the pole position immediately here on his second lap. Said watch out for the 46, and he takes the pole position for now. There's still a couple of more drivers that still need to go out on track, but that could be the driver that takes the pole position. What a run by the 46.
Wow, what a job by Jason Grattan here to steal that pole in the last few moments here, as we'll see here in these final few minutes. Can someone else produce something quicker? But we only got about 5 or 6 drivers left here to put a time. We're watching the 4 Aaron Hill. His first lap was 20, or it looks like 19th at the moment. We'll see if he can produce a second faster lap. This he's been a driver trending towards the front later into the season.
Also, Aaron Hale coming across the line. Going to be his final lap here of qualifying. Was in 20th position and moves up to 13th for the 4. And Derek Offerman has finished out his qualifying time. Going to be 22nd. So Offerman's going to have a lot of work to do for himself. Hale is also done with qualifying. They're now just running practice laps for these final minute of qualifying. And Zach, currently right now, it's that of Jason Grattan, Kyle McCoy, Ken Campbell, Dylan Glass, and also that of Cole Sacchetti.
Yeah, again, what a job by Jason Grattan. His best qualifying position up to this point this season was a 5th place position at Pocono. He also had one other top 10 qualifying job, and that was at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Other than that, it's been mostly outside the top 20, sometimes even outside that top 25. So great job by Jason Grattan here to really put a lap down. And this is a track that suits certain drivers. Maybe, this is his ace in his back pocket here, Sam.
And there's a few drivers that have decided not to qualify as we're in our final 15 seconds here. That of Steven Anderson, John Dart, Max Ward, Doug Pierce, and also that of Brian Burchett. Those drivers have opted out from doing a qualifying time. It looked like Steven Anderson thought about putting a qualifying time down, but had an incident and decided, you know what, better off, I'm just going to stay in the back. So as for now, you see the drivers get pulled off the track. Qualifying is done. It's time for us to get racing here at Rockingham Speedway for the Rock 150. And for all these drivers, this is race number 10. This is a make or break point of the season. If you are outside in the top 15 or worse in points, you're going to need to start finding your edge if you want to be making it into the playoffs, because only the top 12 do. Some of the drivers that have already gotten the win, they're outside looking, and they'll take those final bubble spots if you're not careful. As here is our results from qualifying. Getting the pole position, going to be that of Jason Grattan, Kyle McCoy in second place with Ken Campbell, Dylan Glass, and Cole Sacchetti finishing out your top 5. Travis Butt, our last time winner here at Richmond in the Xfinity Series last season, going to be in 6th place with that of Scott Rickard in 7th. Chris Essery in 8th. Andrew Medlin going to be in 9th. And in 10th place, it's going to be that of Christopher Wade.
This week's winner is going to be starting here in the 11th position of Cameron starting in that 13 machine. 12 is going to go to the 9 of Patrick Hasty. 13th position going to go to Aaron Hill in the 4. 14th is going to be Nick Holland in that 68 machine. 15th is going to be the 23 of Dylan Grimm. 16th place going to be the 209 of Travis Dart. 17th is going to go to the 2 of Mike Lynch. Back in the 18th position is going to be Timmy McNally, a winner from earlier in this season. 19th is going to be Brett Somers, and rounding out that top 20 is the 44 of Kyle Bull.
little bit of a slower start qualifying for the 44. We'll see how well he can translate moving forward. Same for this driver, the 31 of Trey Jackson, going to be in 21st position with Derek Offerman in 22nd. George Kovacic's going to be in 23rd with that of Martin Pierce, going to be in 24th position. 25th is going to be that of Brian Lynch with John Dart, as well as our race control of that of Randy Cornwell, who's going to be giving us all that controlling of drivers having any issues here tonight with that of Brian Burchett, Max Ward, Steven Anderson, and Doug Pierce, finishing out our 31 drivers on course that you see here in qualifying, but it's actually going to be 30 drivers that we're going to be seeing on track. As drivers getting the last little calls from race control as we're getting ready to go. Zach, Rockingham, a very difficult track, an old course that no one races on anymore, but certainly a track that has a lot of history, and for these drivers could be a major handful.
Oh, this track is going to be one of the toughest of all on the circuit for sure, no doubt. Drivers are going to have their handful all the time around this track. Very bumpy surface. It's most of the tracks we go to on our circuit, very smooth. Have a few bumps here and there. This track is very line dependent on those bumps. You really want to see different lines that you're going to try to miss those bumps, try to navigate around them. So we'll see who can do the best job of that tonight. And we'll also be talking about tire wear. You're going to see, I think, a lot of comers and goers. Some drivers are going to be trying to burn those tires up at the beginning, and some of them are going to be saving them, seeing if they can work their way through. But passing is difficult, so you want to keep that track position. So it's always a tough decision. Do you save or do you go full bore? It's going to be what we see here tonight at Stars and Stripes. I'm ready for this here at the Rock.
We are so ready for this. Again, there is no fast repair. Get any damage, you're stuck with it. For the drivers, though, they're going to have 3 sets of tires in pit road to work with. We'll see how they want to translate those tires and how well they want to change it up. You see Barney the Flagman arm up, ready to go. We wait for the pace car to pull off, and they do. It's time for racing here at the Rock for 150 laps. We are green for the Rock 150 here for the Stars and Stripes Cup Series, and they're already brake checking and a little bit of issues for that of Jason Gradden. Gradden's into the wall. They're wrecking all over the place. Oh my goodness, Zach, the worst start possible here at the Rock.
2 different wrecks there, Sam. You couldn't have said it better, my friend. That was the worst start possible. Jason Gratton, I don't know exactly what happened there. Just did not look. He got that thing going. Just was never able to get it out of gear. Was just spinning the tires up. And from back even there was an incident that was already happening behind that. I mean, there could be at least 10 to 15 cars here involved in this. It looks like the 23 of Dylan Grimm with Timmy McNally and them had an incident back here too. So, man, all over the place at the start.
It all started with up front with that of Jason Gratton, and it just because of him starting it on the throttle, it checked everything up, and according all the way back to these drivers back here where you're seeing it, they're slowing down, they're having to slow down, and then you see there, the 23 gets out of shape from wheel spin, and everyone else just piles into the end. And, not as big contact as I thought initially, seeing all the smoke. I think the biggest contact was that of Jason Gratton, who overcorrected and got the biggest wreck for himself. But, man, Zach, that was not the start these drivers wanted to see. And we'll see if this next restart's going to get any better. But that is kind of one of the hardest tasks here at Rockingham. And I was even testing it myself. When you get into the throttle, it is so easy to wheel spin with these cup cars here, as that was a wild restart. As we are going to take another look at this wreck, this point from Jason Gratton, again, who had the pole position, was getting into the throttle, but then got into the wall, checked up everyone behind, and then once he tried to get into the corner, just overcorrection and melee behind.
I'm speechless with this start here, Sam. And look, the first driver involved in that with Jason Gratton, that's Travis Butt. That was there. He's already pulled it behind the wall. The engine expired in that race car. Jason Gratton looks like his engine may be done also. It looks like, I don't know, maybe just been the smoke from Travis Butt. But, man, I mean, so many different drivers involved in that, and Travis Butt did not need that to happen. Our past winner here in the Xfinity Series, that's already took him out of this race. And it's crazy how that accordion effect, we've seen it. It started, like you said, from up there, Jason Gratton, and accordion affected all the way back behind him. And that just, man, the Rock has already claimed a few, man. And this race has just got a whole lot of different here. It got shooken up and turned on side its head on lap 1.
And that's a lot of drivers that needed to have good performing days here. Now we've got ourselves 7 drivers that had to go into pit road to get service done. That being Derek Offerman, Kyle Bowling, as well as Mike Lynch, Travis Dart, Dylan Grimm, first official DNF, that of Travis Butt, the 00. And then you've also got Timmy McNally and Jason Gratton all in pit road. Currently still in pit road is Timmy McNally and Jason Gratton, but heavy damage for already some 7 drivers and a couple of our front runners. Some other drivers that try to be a little bit lenient staying in the back, still caught up in major issues, which now changes things up front. It's now Kyle McCoy, Ken Campbell, Dylan Glass, that Cole Sacchetti, and now Scott Rickard's going to be up to 5th.
This has already changed the whole complexion. Now Kyle McCoy going to be shifted up to the lead. He was able to skate by. Same with Ken Campbell there. Those two were able to luckily get by. Just we'll have to watch that all night. It seems like just the 46 lit the tires up, could never get it underneath them. So that was right off the start. We'll have to watch here for these even cooler tires on this next start. As they've been doing multiple pace laps now, really with only that little bit of a burst there heading down in one.
Well, do want to give a major shout out to our producer, that of Robert Moyer. We are doing live streams on both that of YouTube, Facebook, and those are the 2 primary ones. I think we also have ourselves on Twitch as well. 3 different broadcasts from 3 different platforms. And it is absolutely incredible seeing everyone that is participating. Like, subscribe, hey, share the stream wherever it is easiest for you to get the most people coverage, because we want to see how big of numbers we can get from streaming on all 3 platforms, as we are excited to just be upgrading each and every week here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting, and we get to do it again here tonight. As up front, again, it is Kyle McCoy, Ken Campbell, Cole Sacchetti, Dylan Glass, and also going to be that of Andrew Medlin and Scott Rickard, going to be your top 6. Ready to get the green flag. We wait for the pace car to pull the hard left. There it goes. It's time for us to go trying another restart at the Rock for the Rock 150. And that's a much cleaner start there, Zach, but we'll see how going into turn 1 goes.
Yeah, much cleaner start there. Sam Kyle McCoy able to quickly take the lead here, slot down, but it's going to be side by side. That's going to be Dylan Glass and Cole Sacchetti. 2 drivers looking for good runs here down into 3 and 4, side by side still here. We're going to see them fan out here and try to make it over the bumps at 3 and 4.
Up front, it's going to be that of Kyle McCoy, Ken Campbell getting great runs for themselves, but it's going to be Cole Sacchetti stuck on the high line to be right on board with the 29. Get his sense as he just throws it all the way up to the wall. Got to be careful because there's more drivers. They're going to be coming on the inside, giving a great opening, but Zach, it's the backstretch. All this speed that the 29 was trying to set up for.
Yeah, you're trying to set up for that long run there off the top line, but it just sometimes it doesn't work, and that wall off of turn 2 is so dangerous. We're going to talk about that all night long. Probably going to be the spot that we see most of our instances coming out of turn 2, getting off that yellow line, hitting the apron, and sliding up into that wall. Very dangerous to do, as you're going to see these drivers flirt with the wall down the back straightaway as they head down Thunder Alley.
Now riding on top of the 29 machine of Cole Sacchetti, and seeing their top 4, top 5 really running well currently, staying in line, but the different choices of how they want to attack these corners, I think is what I'm loving about Rockingham so far. You got Dylan Glass all the way up to the high side. That is where he's feeling the most comfortable, but there is going to be yellow wreck in the back. It's going to be the 44 going through 1 and 2, going to be bringing out this yellow.
Oh no, already another incident here again, and Kyle Bowling, a driver that, not normally involved in many of these incidents here, now going to be smoking, heading down the back straightaway as we head to that instant replay.
Well, this is going to be an incident between 2 different drivers, and I don't think the 99 knew the aggression from the 44 going into this corner. And Zach, I mean, it's hard for us to really make a hard decision on this, but this is a uncharacteristic type of a wreck. See the 99 bounce off the outside wall, and I think that's what launched him down into the 44 into the entry of the corner.
Yeah, at first I was like, oh man, he just he had one of the sharpest turn-ins I've ever seen, but I think you're exactly right. Just catching that wall, just kissing it, and it hit him straight left, and Kyle Bowling nowhere to go. He just gets flicked hard straight into the wall. That's just going to be major damage.
Kyle Bowling, who had lost 2 points, 2 positions in the points last week after Phoenix. This is going to be a huge loss. He's already blown up the engine, and this could be him falling back to 26th here tonight. Do not want to be seeing that type of a loss in points 2 weeks in a row, especially when we're inching closer and closer to playoffs. But this is kind of what short track racing gives you, the wild card. Who knows who's going to survive, especially in the early going. First 10 laps already have 2 cautions. So we're on lap 11 currently. Get up front, Kyle McCoy, that of Ken Campbell, Dylan Glass, Scott Rickard, as well as Andrew Medlin. Going to be our top 5 currently. We got a little bit of a green flag run there, Zach, and it was interesting to see the different lines. I think once we see also the drivers get a little bit more tire wear, that's when we're going to be also seeing a little bit of difference on elevation on the track that the drivers want to be on.
Tire wear here is just it's something that normally is very very critical, but with these cautions like this, it brings that cooldown phase back in. It's going to help the tire wear here for these guys. They're going to be able to stretch it longer than they possibly could before. I'm just trying to think about strategy. As always, my driver in me, I always think about how this race could play out if it went to the end. And with a 90% fuel load, I don't see a one stop being I mean, it definitely could be possible. I think fuel wise, the tires are what I would really worry about. But these cautions here help that possibility even more. So we'll see, what the plan is here. But everybody's still electing here to stave out and save them sets because only 3 sets in pit road, 150 laps. I do not definitely want to be wasting one here with already 12 laps in the books.
Absolutely not, as this is our second caution. A couple of more drivers deciding to come into pit road. Going to be back in 22nd position, where we're going to be seeing that of Travis Dart, Max Ward, also that of Mike Lynch, Dylan Grimm, Kyle Bowling, all going to be coming into pit road to get service done. The 44 saw the engine gone, but Zach, he's back out on track. I am shocked that he was only in pit road for less than a minute and a half.
Yeah, that is very surprising. I figured he would have been in there for longer, but must have gotten him fixed up already. So, yeah, quickly out of pit road there. But Ken Campbell, we're looking at him right now, pacer on the track in the 15 machine. I mean, what a start to his season. He's starting to get back in that form, Sam. He's been up front really the last 3 or 4 weeks after having those few bumps in the road there with some technical issues. He's starting to put himself back into that form, and that's the form he needs to be if he wants to be into championship potential. Definitely don't want to start the season with 3 straight wins and then not have a shot at the championship. I think Ken Campbell, he's forming right back into that same area. I wouldn't be surprised to see him back in victory lane here at some point.
Yeah, I mean, that is honestly what you're trying to set up for. How do you have the best opportunity to perform and at least have a chance into the playoffs? I think if we look at some of the drivers that made it into the playoffs last season when they were running the Xfinity car, we got to the playoffs, there were about 4 or 5 drivers who were like, okay, they have a chance to win the championship, but it was all Kyle McCoy winning 4 out of the 5 playoff races and winning the ultimate championship. We'll see if who could be the next Kyle McCoy, or if it will be a little bit more even as the drivers are stacked up. Pace car is off, and we're ready to go green once again here at The Rock. It's Rockingham for the Stars and Stripes Cup Series presented by Sharp Apparel, and it's all the 7 and the 15 going into turn number 1.
Big start there for Kyle McCoy, able to launch out to the lead with a giant gap there. But look at the Scott Rickard in the 05. He powers on the top of Dylan Glass. He gets to the outside of Ken Campbell. He wants the 2-for-1 deal as he heads down the back straightaway here, down to 3 and 4. He's going to go way up the track, up to the high line. And this is going to be a good run for that 05. I think he may be able to take this lead here. Still side by side, though, as Ken Campbell slides back. He's going to lift early. That's going to let Dylan Glass get the outside here. Ken Campbell, though, going to have to fight hard here on this bottom lane.
Oh, I'm loving what we're seeing from Rockingham. Drivers really utilizing the high line, the low line, and a driver further back getting himself out of trouble and almost into a big wreck. The 13 of Cameron Sarton, 13 winner from last week, able to hold on, but lost 4 positions. And we continue to watch the battling for 4th place. Dylan Glass and Andrew Medlin, they're going to be having to watch one another because Glass is so much more aggressive into these corners. And Zach, those tires aren't going to be loving this aggression for too long.
No, they definitely will not. We've seen Dylan Glass have those glimpses of a lot of speed, but it seems like he always falls off in the long run. Maybe that's a case of just using up too much tire, pushing him a little too hard, and you can really see a little times how much his car's reacting. Definitely using those tires up. We'll have to watch and see if the run continues on. He may be struggling here as we continue.
As this racing up front, closing in with one another. Some other great racing that's going on is back for that of 9th place. We're side-by-side racing's going on, but here comes Andrew Medlin on the inside, finding that groove, but it's the exit of the corner. Glass, once again, just gets too strong of a run on the straightaways, able to defend for that 4th position for now.
Yeah, that outside lane is just too strong. You just get such a good run. It's the best place to defend for sure. You could probably run faster times on the bottom by yourself, but up top, that's where you want to be if someone is trying to make a pass. You see Medlin again, taking it to the inside here, trying to make the move.
Trying his best, but still just lingering And honestly, for these drivers, they're loving what they're seeing right now, but a driver is slowly catching up. That's going to be the 10 of Chris Essery, rocking a new scheme here tonight as the 10 is closing in the gap. And I'm looking at the pacing. Fastest car on track is that of Chris Essery.
Yeah, he is flying right now, Sam. Great point there as he's driving up into the picture. Didn't even notice it, like you said there. New scheme on that number 10 machine, as he said. Going to change it up this week, and he's going to the bottom lane here looking for that clean air. As you see Medlin, Glass up ahead there with King Campbell, all trying different lanes. And like you said, already showing some good versatility here at Rockingham, and that's the possibility of this racetrack. You know, a very tough track to race around, and when it's usually tough, that's when you search for options, and that's what these drivers are doing. You see multiple different lines here through each corner.
What I'm loving from Chris Essery right now is the fact that, yes, he changed up the scheme, but also changing up his style. Usually it's in the first 10 to 15 laps. We're seeing the max speed from this 10. He's kind of doing what Dylan Glass does, maximizing the entries, being very aggressive on his tires, and then in the long run starts to fade off and really isn't a factor, kind of doing a little bit of the opposite here. 22 laps in, start of the lap 22. And this 10's on the move going forward as he's caught to the tail end of this lead path.
Well, if there's any track to change your style and, you know, have that, you know, non-aggressive, you know, smooth, very gentle to the tires type of feel with the driver, it's here at Rockingham. You want to definitely have that type of style if you want to make fast lap times. And we see Cameron Sarton there already up to 9th. He had that big moment, so surprising to see him already climb his way back here to the 9th position as he lost a few there off of 2. It's showing again. Pace at every single track this 13, looking to be a championship contender when we get down to the end of the season.
A little bit of a bobble from that orange and white 17 of that of Brett Sommers, but as we're trickling back into checking out some of these other drivers that are making some great runs, Patrick Hasty up to 13th place. Usually a driver, it takes strategy for him to be up in the top 15. Right now, currently running 13th, a great early run for the 9 of Patrick Hasty.
And it all started off with a 12th qualifying position for him, so he stayed right around there along with Aaron Held, the driver up ahead of him in that 12th position. They both qualified right around where they're at. But I tell you what, right behind him, Trey Jackson, the 31 machine, he's done a great job and sailing along with Brian Lynch, who's driven himself up to in that 24 machine here, as we see on screen, from 25th to 15th, so 10 positions up for that 24 machine, along with George Kovacic, 23rd to 16th. And, you know, a lot of these guys benefit from early mishaps for a lot of drivers here tonight at Rockingham.
Yeah, and I want to give a major note to this of George Kovacic. He has been really doing a lot better these last couple of weeks. This 65 has just been getting cleaner and cleaner each race, and honestly had a major scare last week at Phoenix. Got spun around, was able to keep it straight in the late goings of that race. And now the 65, right now in 16th, one of his better runs early on. We'll see if we can capitalize this, as there's still a lot of racing for 150 laps. We're still in the first quarter of this race.
Got a lot of racing to go, and look at this great onboard here we're getting from George, and he's doing a great job racing with Brian Lynch here up ahead of him, and you can see the different lanes being utilized by these drivers. And look right there on the outside, there goes Derek Hoffman around the top, so the damaged, a little bit of damage on the right side of that number 20 machine too, I see, so tough for him, but he's moving his way on up, even though that damage is on the right side.
As we're seeing these drivers battling with one another. Another driver that's getting a great opportunity behind the 65. You see him in the pink machine. That's going to be that of Martin Perry. And one of our rookies coming into this season, the 69. Another one of those drivers that's really capitalizing on the early misfortunes of the drivers on that first lap incident of the wheel spin calamity that wiped out over 7 drivers. Hey, it's giving some of these drivers that maybe would have been battling for 25th, 24th position. They're now battling to stay in the top 20. Great run here by the 69 machine.
Yeah, this is definitely a big benefit for early cautions. You know, you can always be pushed up a few positions if you're able to survive it back here. And great job by Martin Perry. As we look a little bit farther back, there is Dylan Grimm. He's 1 lap down. He was involved in that incident. He's got the 66 machine there directly behind him. And these two right here sitting back here. John Dart is in that 20th position. He's not a lap down as he goes to the inside. But Dylan Grimm there in that 23A lap down. As you can see, even the damaged car there. It looks like Mike Lynch there in the 2 machine, who is still in the lead lap. He goes by with no front end. So that no front end on the 2 looking still pretty sporty.
Looking like a modified machine out there, but still at full power, full song, able to still compete as we're now going to be moving up to the battling inside of our top 10 for 5th place. Out of Andrew Medlin's been doing a great job holding on for this position, but he's got to be watching out. Chris Essery, also that of Cole Sacchetti, starting to make the charge moving forward. Nick Collins also into this pack, and also Cameron Sartin, some of our fastest drivers on track. They're starting to get stalled out, and they had to pick and choose where to place these cars. It seems like here, Zach, something we haven't talked about all night long yet, but it seems to be a major factor. That dirty air, these front runners cannot make a pass, it seems like.
Yeah, it's so tough to make a pass, and especially when multiple lanes work. You know, you would think that would make it where dirty air is not as big an issue. You can go up there, make a move. But it also makes where defending a lane is a little bit easier. You know, a lot of times if you have that advantage of the lane to your inside, you know, being better than that outside lane, you can make an easy pass. But here at Rockingham, it seems like all the lanes are working, so you got to really make the lane that you're in the better lane and just do the better job of driving here. As we can see, right on board with that 29 at Cole Sacchetti. He's had a good night here so far. It's the driver that's had so many good runs, just not the finishes he needs. He needs to stay out of trouble here tonight, as he's been up to the 7th spot here, starting for 5th. So drop back a few, but putting the pressure on Chris Essery there, not letting him get away. That tip machine is close to the wall there for him as Holland closes into.
I don't even think you could have put a sheet of paper between that car and the wall with how close we saw that Cole Sacchetti there. A very scary moment for an instant, but I mean, looking at this field right now, Zach, we're 34 laps in. We've had only our first 2 yellows. Most of the field has not come into pit road. I'm not expecting them to really come in, as this track's only a mile in length. But, I mean, when do you think these drivers are going to start to think about coming into pit road, potentially for tires, or for tires and fuel?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think the fuel mileage is not going to be an issue here tonight. I think, you know, is the question, can you take the tires to that 75, the lap 80 mark? You got to remember, we also had caution, ladies and gentlemen, out there, so that's helped them going to be able to stretch the tires longer. But I think fuel mileage wise, you're going to see most likely these guys be able to stretch it out around, I would believe, 80, 90 laps here tonight. So we'll see if anyone will select to go that way with the tires, but tires can quickly be burned off here, so you got to be careful about trying to take them too far. You can quickly get into the wrong position and be pushing backwards.
Watching right now the 15 of that of Ken Campbell, running in 3rd place with his 30 wins so far this season, with Dylan Glass in the 42, pounding on the back bumper. And for Dylan Glass, I mean, he's found something that's working. I thought by now he would have really burned off those tires, but he is still keeping it close. Now gets a major run, thinking about ducking it to the inside, which we have not seen the 42 really go low. He's usually been running that middle to high lane on the entry of the corner, and then gets a major run. We'll see how he's going to be attacking these next couple of laps, because he's got to reset and re-attack. And speaking of attacking, in 2nd place, this is where we find the 0-5 of Scott Rickard, who's right now in 2nd, almost a second back from that of the 7 machine of Kyle McCoy, that's leading the way as we ride on board with the 0-5 from a cockpit view, giving us a sense of what the wheelmanship is like here at Rockingham, and also how bumpy this track truly is, like you noted on Zach earlier on.
Yeah, our 2 champions right here showing in their veteran abilities here at this bumpy old racetrack. You know, they've raced this track, like we said, each time we've been here at, you know, Stars and Stripes. This is their 4th season. They've raced it 3 times up to this point. Both of these drivers right here we're watching are past winners here. Scott Rickard, a winner in the Truck Series. Kyle McCoy, a winner here in the ARCA Series. So we could see one of those 2 be the first to be a 2-time winner here at the Stars and Stripes League at Rockingham. Right now, really showing to be the class of the field as they continue to stretch it out. But again, like you said, back to Dylan Glass there, man. He's continuing to try to work over Ken Campbell. And he just got to give him a shout out for how well he's running already early in this going here. 40 laps in, showing a lot of paces. Oh, even behind there, Medlin and Sacchetti, they're going to battle here for the top 5 positions. Almost contact off of 4.
Out of 4, the 29 says, oh no, enough is enough. I'm going to be trying to make a pass for 5th place. Been following the 12 for quite a long time. Now going to be pushing him even higher, close to the outside wall. If anything, this is probably helping that of Medlin a little bit more on the straightaways, but you can see the 29 just feels a little bit more comfortable in that inside lane. Well, Medlin, he's been running around that yellow line all race long. This is a different type of racing strategy, and it works out for Sacchetti the most.
What a pass there for Cole down in the 3. He got the great run off of 2, got the nose ahead, was able to get clear through the center and exit, and now he's off to the top 5 back where he qualified. So great run up for him. But Nick Holland, man, he needs a great run in the 68. He's been working his way forward up those 7 positions. And even behind that, last week's winner, Cameron Sarton, he's starting to come forward as Chris Essery, his teammates, starting to go backwards. So Aaron Hill also the 4 coming up here into the top 10 with right now 6 seconds separating our top 10 drivers. It's starting to fall off now.
Biggest mover of the drivers in the top 10 going to be that of Nick Holland, currently up 7 positions from where he qualified. He's been doing a great job as we've watched really this pack of 6. 2 different slots, but into the wall it's going to be the 10. Chris Essery troubles, and he runs into the 4 as well. Both going to be slow, losing a lot of ground. Heavy damage for both the 10 and the 4.
Oh man, Chris Essery was looking so good early in the run. That just shows you Rockingham, just because you look good early in the run doesn't mean it can't sneak up on you and bite you just like that quick. And both Aaron Hill and Chris Essery lose a lot of time is there. Man, Essery trying to hold on to it off of 2. Tires are very hot there on that 10 machine as he's struggling, Sam.
I mean, he was saving for the first 10 to 15 laps, then finally went on the go mode and wasn't able to really capitalize on passes. Really just put a wear and tear on the rear end. Is right on board to get a little bit of a sense from his perspective of the 10. Right on with Chris Essery. Coming out of the corner, will he get loose? Looks like pretty stable for now, but that outside wall, you can just tell, just letting the car really work itself up. You got to be careful not to overwork yourself, or you might throw your race away.
Yeah, you can quickly throw your race away for sure. Here is it looks like damage on both sides of this race car too. You can see the hood flap, and it's a major damage here. Is we're gonna, I believe, to look here right along here with this 10 machine is he's continuing to fight back. Aaron Hill and him both getting the damage, and it's like Christopher Wade here drive right up to the back bumper here for that top 10 position.
Now we're going to be riding along with this of Chris Essery in the 10. We also have an outer view of what's going on because behind him, he's got a lot of drivers behind. And, you know, we talk about it each and every week here, Zach, the way that the drivers look, you see the wheelmanship constantly working that wheel. It's Essery just trying to keep the car straight. Is behind him that of Aaron Hale and Wade battle along, but this is going to be feeling good for Essery, and you see him even look up into his mirror, seeing the side-by-side racing. He can now focus a little bit more. Doesn't have to feel too panicked as drivers are getting a little bit more racier behind him.
Yeah, when you get a little bit of room to breathe like that, it always makes you feel so much better. And I'm sure Essery, he's got to be a little frustrated already anyways, just due to he was running really, really good at the start of the race, had that mistake there as he started to slip back, and that is really dropped him pretty far back here as they continue to complete laps, man. And the laps are clicking off pretty quickly here, Sam. You know, right now going to be coming here up to the lap 50 mark here pretty soon. You know, if you're going to be doing a two-stop strategy, that strategy will be coming in now. You know, from what I'm seeing lap time-wise, probably, you know, we're looking at upwards of 2 seconds of fall off right now. You know, can they stretch it to the point they can to one stop? And that is going to be tough to tell here for these guys.
Yeah, I'm interested also because we had one driver coming to pit road. It's going to be Steve Anderson, who also was already heavily damaged, had to come into pit road. But our first real taker, it looks like, Brett Sommers into pit road as lap 50 starts up for our leaders. And now transitioning to lap 51, we are now officially 1/3 in of tonight's race. We'll try to see when drivers are going to be making their big pit stops here, potentially 2 stops. Some thinking about that of just a 1-stop race. But Zach, it's this racing right here for 10th place that's getting hot and heavy as here comes the 9 to the inside of the 53.
A great green flag run we had here, but man, it's starting to stack up as Offerman. He's driven himself up into this picture not too long ago. Offerman was way behind these guys. Got to give him credit with that damage on the 20. He's driven himself up past the 9 of Patrick Hasty now. He's up to that 12th position as Patrick Hasty now slots back to 3rd or 13th certainly, and then 14th there. Trey Jackson, he gets into the wall in the 31 machine.
Watch out, here comes the 99. Fresh tires for himself. Could be trying to carve through this little pack that we're seeing. And not going to be as fast as, you know, some of the other drivers that might are going to be coming into pit road later on, like a Brett Sommers or others. But the 99, still with fresh tires, keeps him competitive and just a couple of tenths faster than the pack that he's coming up to. And we're now going to move up to see the 99, who's in 26th position, but he is carving his way through. These drivers are in the top 10. This could get dangerous if these drivers are not aware of the 99 coming.
No, the closing rate is so gigantic, and you're going to see here it was Offerman cutting down the track from the top. that's where you can have problems right there. The 99 with such a closing rate coming on the bottom. You got someone running their line that really cuts down on late exit. He's going to be coming up very quickly. They got to be looking in their mirrors and paying attention to those relatives and spotters as there he goes through the middle of the 20 and the 53. Now starting to carve his way again more through this traffic here, these new tires. And this is where it's going to get
Oh
critical.
boy.
Guys pitting and Aaron Hell with them side by side and Chris Escher up ahead. Like you said, it's going to be an oh boy moment here in a few moments.
If they got side by side again, that might have seen Steven think about possibly forcing it 3 wide. They're going to go again. Essery's feeling more comfortable in the inner groove as you see the 99 trying to get by that of Christopher Wade, just not able to. I think, you know, that's one of the things of these drivers that are kind of running in the back more often is here comes the 24 of that of Brian Lynch, and as well the 10, that of being Chris Essery into pit road. Zach, these drivers didn't make it halfway. Looks like a 2-stop strategy could be thoughts for the drivers that have at least gotten more damage than more of tire wear.
Yeah, I think this is showing right here that, you know, hey, you can't flounder around back here just waiting for, you know, a caution to come out. They got to make something happen here. They're going to go aggressive with the strategy here, come down to pit road early and try this 2-stop strategy. It may be the way to go. Maybe those other drivers run into some type of failure with the tires, because also got to remember, like I said, those cautions help so much for tire wear, being able to cool them back down and really bring the tires back down to a cool playing field. You're seeing Cameron Sarton also hit pit road here on 57. This is telling me more and more guys are thinking this 2-stop strategy may be the way to go.
Sarton now going to be getting into pit road. I think one of the more interesting things of this track, Zach, and we've noted on it on other tracks that have the same, you know, factor, is pit road being into turn 1. There is that curve where drivers have to turn in a little bit more into to get to their pit box, which could cause them to slide by their box or even have even bigger errors.
Oh, anytime you have you know, even a weird pit entry like this, it's very, very tough. As the leaders coming up on lap traffic, they just went by George Kovacic. There's Max Ward now. They're getting by him in the 59. Going to put him a lap down along with the 65. So lapped up to the 16th position. But pit road can be so treacherous here, not only with how much the tires wear here, but it is a very weird entry. And also you got the curve in pit road where it's hard to stop in your box if you got one of those weird pit stalls there right in the middle of the corner. It's always tricky when you're at a short track sometimes to get in the pit road here on older sets.
More front runners. Dylan Glass going to be into pit road as we ride on board and check out the 7's point of view, because if we get into the cockpit, we can see just chaos. Luckily, he's gotten by most of this pack, but Zach, this group is still very dangerous. Here comes the 10 of Essery below our leader, and here comes Brett Summers. Kyle McCoy, he is certainly kind of, getting through traffic himself, but now he's the sitting duck to everyone else that just came into pit road.
Yeah, it's got to be a weird feeling. You're getting by cars so quick in front of you, putting people a lap down, feeling really good, trying to hold off Scott Rickard here, who's, you know, not too far behind, has kept the gap pretty similar. You know, trying to get through traffic as quick as possible, but you got guys on new tires coming up through like Chris Essery and the 17 of Brent Sobers there. So great job there from Kyle McCoy to hold his line as he gets by Grimm now. He's going to have at least 2 more lap cars to get by here in the next few laps, but it's cleaned up a little bit. As, man, that was about 5 or 6 cars in a matter of 2 laps around him.
Well, we got 17 drivers still needing to go into pit road. 13 of those 17 are on the lead lap. As we're seeing the field, this is now going to be Scott Rickard, who's going to be right now running in 2nd place, getting through traffic and not losing too much ground. If anything, actually caught up to the lap traffic a lot better and has actually kept the closing of 1st and 2nd a lot better than he could have. As Ken Campbell going to be about 4 seconds back from our leader. Cole Sacchetti is going to be about 5.5 seconds back with Nick Holland. Andrew Medlin's falling back to 6th, but it's Aaron Hale and that posse from 7th, 8th, 9th. They're still in a cluster of lap traffic and battling themselves.
Yeah, you got Christopher Wade there getting by the 69 of Martin Perry there with the lap car, along with Patrick Hasty. They were trying to battle through all of that there. You also got Brian Burchett not too far behind in the 33 machine. So, yeah, that whole group from 7th all the way up to Aaron Hill, it's only about 2 seconds separating those 5 drivers. And like you said, they've been cutting through traffic, trying to race each other also, and it's been fun to watch. As right now, Rockingham has been putting on a show, and we're seeing different strategies. That's the one thing I would always like to see is, what does a 1-stop versus a 2-stop look like? We might see that play out here. Is right now coming by to complete 65 this next time by here. We're getting to that halfway point where they could definitely make it.
Here Several more drivers up front going to be coming into pit road here. Nick Holland, also Andrew Medlin, both coming over the radio. Expected pit road stop. So it's going to be actually the 68 taking his chances into pit road as the 12 continues to race on. Driver I'm keeping my eye on, though, has to be that of Cameron Sarton in the 13, because the longer this run goes on, the 13 still most likely going to have to come into pit road at least one more time based on when he came into pit road 8 laps ago. But because of the fact that he is a lap down currently, trying to become the first driver a lap down, so that if a caution comes out, that of Cameron Sarton would get the lucky dog spot, or try to figure out and work this 2 pit stop strategy to work into the 13's favor as we still wait for Kyle McCoy and others to come to pit road.
The biggest factor, though, what I would say right now is you're watching Sarton there go by Sacchetti there, that top 5 car, that 4th place position car, get the lap back from him is it's going to be about 6 seconds up the road to get his full lap back here. Is Max Wertz not too far up ahead of him, but man, gotta say, Sarton right now running 24.49 to Kyle McCoy right now 26.054. So it's upwards of almost 2 seconds lap time. There was 3 wide there. Sarton goes to the middle with Sacchetti, or that's Kovacic and Campbell. Man, that could have been crazy there. Luckily, Campbell survives through that.
Campbell gets through, but we got to move up to the lead because the whole entire 1 second gap is gone, as the black traffic is held up to 7 so much that Scott Rickard is now right on the back bumper and now challenging to go for the pass potentially on the outside. Here comes the 05, but they got lap traffic. Where will we see that Travis Dart go as the 05 practically bumping off the wall and taking the lead?
Wow, just seeing big moves being made right now, and the fall off is dramatic. 26.74 here being ran by our leaders up front. Scott Rickard was able to make the pass on the outside. Can he get through lap traffic and Travis Dart and these drivers up ahead? It's been tough. They have not been easy on the leaders. They're going to fight to the bitter end here because they know if a caution comes out, they're right in position for them to stay on the lead lap. And again, Travis Dart fighting around the outside, but it's Scott Rickard, though, with a little bit better tires. I think he may be able to get around, but here comes Kyle McCoy again back into the picture. This is really heating up here around this pit sequence.
And watch out behind them, the 24 of Brian Lynch got fresher tires, might force the issue of 3 wide here. Going into the corner might be the 24 as they hold on, a little bit of contact into the corner, and still Travis Dart bouncing off one another. Now Cameron Sarton's in the mix. It is pandemonium for our leaders as they're going to be now 3 wide, potentially get out of the corner, but Sarton's going to back off. But it's going to be all that of Scott Rickard, McCoy, our leaders, surrounded by lap traffic. Some have older tires, some have new, and there goes Brian Lynch to the inside.
Traffic jam at Rockingham. Here's Brian Lynch and Sarton. They're just trying their best to get by new tires. And man, Scott Rickard's tried everything to get by Travis Dart. Just hasn't been able to do it. It just shows here how much they're struggling with the tires. Leaders catching lap traffic, cannot get by him here for this 12th position.
They give a little bit of a bump to the outer wall. Saw that work for Cameron Sarton back at Phoenix that got him the victory. And now we're seeing the 05 once again try, but it's the outer lane of this 09. How in the world Travis Dart just forcing the issue and now kind of making it more dangerous for our leaders because there's more lap traffic coming behind as we're inching closer and closer to halfway. Our leaders are going to be having to think about pit stops here, Zach, but will they have space at this point to do so as Rickard to the outside and now John Dart's going to be in the way.
Oh, this is really stacking up here. Same as Glass is coming through the bottom of new tires. Also, you got Anderson. He's got the newer tires there back there in the 99. Rickard having to back out, and now sometime push is going to come to shove here. You know, Travis Dart trying to stay on the lead lap, but the leaders are going to have to make some type of move here. And man, the fall off so dramatic here right now.
And because lap traffic has held up our leaders so much, Cameron Sarton is coming in contact into the wall. There goes Sarton. Here's S3, almost hitting McCoy, and that's going to bring out a yellow here. Still not out. Now finally the yellow waves. How did McCoy survive?
McCoy just got by the hair on his chin, man. That is as close it could ever be. Scott Rickard, though, major damage in the 05, and that is just a tough break here. And we're going to see how that all played out there because tough break for everybody.
And we're going to be seeing these drivers. I'm hearing it over the radio. Frustration is mounting over these drivers. You see John Dart going to be in front of these leaders. And the 209 is the last driver on the lead lap. Just goes into the wall. And Scott Rickard, who'd be riding the wall through these corners, just nowhere to go. but watch this, just carving through, overcorrects, and just like that, the 7 gets by. Whew, it's just baffling.
Yeah, this that right there, Sam. One of those moments where hey, Travis Dart, he is the lead lap car. He's trying to battle for that position, hold on to that last spot there, and you can't knock him too hard for battling that hard. He wasn't doing nothing out of two line there, but just made a mistake getting up into the wall, and Scott Rickard really nowhere to go for there in the 05, and yeah, it just shows you when it's tough to pass like this. Things like this happen. You get up the traffic and you can't go nowhere. And Kyle McCoy, he's just got to be saying, man, how my season's been going, you would have thought that would have caught him right there. But, man, maybe it's all turning around here as we're starting to get closer and closer to those playoffs.
Oh, boy. They need a little bit of a breather. We might need a little bit of a breather as pit stops are going on. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, driver's going to be green. We're going to miss the restart, but you won't miss a thing because we're going to go side-by-side, nonstop action. We'll be back in just a few. Hey, I thought we were going to be back in time for the green. Well, guess what? We are right here. We're ready to go. More racing action. The Stars and Stripes Cup Series presented by That of Sharp Apparel. It's time for us to get green flag racing again for race number 10. The Rock 150 is green, and it's going to be that of Dylan Glass and also that of Cole Sacchetti. Glass going to be on the older tires up front, but Zach, he's a sitting duck because Kyle McCoy's on the move.
Yeah, Kyle McCoy going to quickly get work done there. Is actually going to get held up a little bit there. Sacchetti able to stay to the outside down the back straightaways. They head to 3. Glass building up a giant lead here as they say side by side for a second. Looks like now finally McCoy going to take that second spot as they head across the line here after the first lap of the restart. Glass, though, with a monumental lead.
Glass is going to be now over 1.7 seconds is the difference, but we know it's going to close in quickly. Going to be on that of round 18 lap. Older tires is the 42 compared to the 7. So we're expecting that of Kyle McCoy to be in a much faster state. Ken Campbell's also going to be pretty quick for himself, but the driver that's in my mind to watch out for, the 13, Cameron Sarton. He almost had a race-winning strategy, but the 13's trapped in 7th. Lost track position because of that yellow that came out, but Zach certainly has the speed of a driver to watch out for.
Yeah, and he's making quick moves here already around the outside here. Trey Jackson to quickly take that 6th position. So quickly moving forward. And, that's one thing I've noticed. A lot of drivers caught out by some of those strategies there, not being able to get back, to the positions like Sarton was there to get back on the lap. His Glass up ahead of him there is in the wall in the 42. He's going to check up. Luckily, Ken Campbell gets by. Wade also, there goes Sarton. That's going to be now the top 5 for the 13 machine. But, man, Glass there with the early lead on the start. He's now quickly sliding back with those older tires.
Also see side-by-side action for second place. Ken Campbell trying to make the move on the inner lane. Will do so for Cole Sacchetti, but here comes his teammate, Christopher Wade. And it always seems like Wade is on the back bumper of the 15. Kind of been the hero helping Ken Campbell get his first 3 wins in the first 3 races of this season. And the 53 get himself in a victory lane, or will he have to help out the 15 one more time to help Ken Campbell get his 4th?
Yeah, he's always seeming to be there, He's just definitely a great teammate there for Ken Campbell and Christopher Wade. Those two always seem to work together very well. As Sacchetti there was able to slide between them there to upset that a little bit, but now Ken Campbell going to hold on to that 2nd position. But can't, forget too much about Scott Rickard in that 05 machine. He has been really trying to hang on with that damaged race car right now, back in 14th position. Right directly ahead of Derek Hoffman. It's going to be a tough night, though, for Scott Rickard, even though he was able to survive that damage. It's still a lot of damage on the front of that machine. It's going to be slowing him down a lot.
Front end, rear end, the whole tire, right and left side has been damaged on the 05. Scott Rickard's got a lot of work if he wants to get moving. But in front of him, Ray Racing action going on. That's going to be the 23, who was a lap down, going to be having to find a little bit more space as there goes Andrew Medlin. Going to be making the pass in. His goal, get by Nick Holland, who's been making a great move for himself. But we're also going to move up a little bit further than that, up to 7th place. Want to talk about this driver because we haven't talked about him all night long. Qualified back in 27, did not qualify, but Brian Burchett, biggest mover so far, up 20 positions, up to 7th in our top 10.
I mean, what a job by him there, Sam. He's, he seems like a guy that always does good on, those weird tracks. It seems like road courses always suit him. So this track here at the Rockingham, Speedway, it's really seeming to done well for him here tonight, and he stayed out of trouble. That's the biggest thing for a lot of these guys. See Chris Estre there behind him in the 10 machine. He pitted early. He got himself caught a lap down there, and now he is stuck behind this 33 here, not being able to battle for position as he's all the way back in the 19th spot. But, man, it just shows you if you can play the right strategy, stay out of trouble here at these wild card tracks, you can get a great finish. 33
is going to be now under fire from that of Chris Essery, and Essery can easily make the pass. Great rebound for the 10. He was caught up in an earlier incident. Now we're going to fall back to the battling for 10th place as we've got that of Nick Holland trying to get by for 9th. Moving for that of Dylan Glass, and here comes Andrew Medlin and others. This is a good pack of around 6 drivers trying to get to their moves to see who can get a top 10 finish for themselves.
The top 10 starting to heat up here for sure is Medlin trying to make the move on Dylan Glass, who's got those older set of tires. He slides by on the inside here as they fight side by side here as they cross the line. And directly behind there, you also got John Dart to 66. He's up from 26 to 12. So great run for him there as we're going to hop on board here with Andrew Medlin in the 12 machine and see how he's getting it done around the Rockingham Speedway.
You can tell, same kind of focus that we were seeing earlier for Chris Essery. Same here for the 12 of Andrew Medlin. Medlin, who's found himself in a victory lane a couple of weeks back. Back at Kentucky, that was a 1.5 mile racetrack, and he's showing the good speed here, but he's going to have to try to come back into a little bit better of a run. He's trying to catch up to Nick Holland currently. As right now, I got to say, Zach, this has been an interesting run watching Andrew Medlin.
Yeah, it has been interesting to watch him all season long. Not only, and he always brings the focus here. You can just see him just peering into those screens, trying to make speed around this mile track as he's got Nick Holland directly ahead of him. Glass there battling with Scott Rickard, who's going to look to make the pass on Glass back there. And man, it was definitely a tough thing for Scott Rickard, but he's doing a great job to get what he can back out of it right now as he moves back into it.
Yeah, I think that's really the goal at this point. Comes in as your points leader, already has out of 2 wins for the 0-5. So he's just having a great run for himself. But this battling for 9th place, Nick Holland, a driver that needs to have fabulous runs here late in the going. One of our drivers that found 3 wins in a row last season in Xfinity cars has 0 wins this season. Doesn't even have a single top 5 so far. So Nick Holland needs every single point as he's back in 17th in points. Currently on track in 9th place, but he's got to watch out because here comes Scott Rickard, damaged and all, but has done a great job. He's now up to 11th and soon to be challenging for 10th place.
Man, what a drive with the damage. That is amazing to see someone able to do that right there. And that's got to make him feel good that, hey, I got all this damage and I'm still able to drive up to your back bumper in the 12 machine of Medland. So he's driving up here trying to put him under pressure, and this is when the tire wear is starting to come in. So maybe, very well, even with that damage deficit he'll have on pace, he'll have some better tires by just his driving, and he'll be able to mow a few of these guys down, maybe get up farther up into that top 10 and make a really bad, what could have been a really, really bad day into a all right day.
Drivers are now coming into pit road. Dylan Glass, who stayed out, was about 20 laps more out there than other drivers, had to come into pit road to get service done to make sure he can make it to the end of this race. As well for Brett Somers coming into pit road. Zach, I think the question might be looming, can these drivers make it to the end? It seemed like with the 2 yellows that enabled some of the other drivers cut this race in half, but if there isn't another yellow, I think that's when these drivers are going to be a little bit more concerned moving forward.
Yeah, what really concerns me is we were almost seeing 3 seconds of fall off from drivers that, ran into that 76 lap mark. I mean, it is going to be very tough here if this race stays green without any yellows to help stretch those tires. And I believe if we get a yellow here very quickly, you're probably going to see everybody pit for tires anyways. So, either I think it's going to be tough to get to the end. I could very well see these drivers still making one pit stop for a green flag, just to make sure for tires, man. It is so tough. I mean, 3 seconds of fall off is unheard of here with this tire model on iRacing. So it's showing that the wear is kicking in, and some drivers might not even been far from a tire wear condition where they would have exploded a tire and had to come down to pit road for a black flag. So we'll have to see what they got reading wise from that first stop. When they come down, they'll be able to see what their tire wear is, and they'll be able to say, okay, I can confidently feel like I could stretch that a little bit farther, just knowing that they had a few caution laps to help get them to that point.
Well, we are now officially 101 laps in. Currently, we've found ourselves with 16 drivers on the lead lap. Currently, the 10, Chris Essery, is the first car a lap down in the lucky dog position with that of George Kovacic in 18th, that of 10 seconds back from the 10. But we have had a couple of drivers that have DNF'd or out of this race, that being Max Ward, who's in pit road after being involved in our last incident, Kyle Bowling, as well as Travis Butt and Timmy McNally, all are officially out, with Jason Gratton still in pit road for the 46. We've had a couple of accidents here this evening, bringing out some yellows, but pit road, even more busy, is Derek Offerman going to be hitting the pit road for the 20 machine. But who will be the next one to come into pit road and potentially use another set of tires? Again, these drivers only had 3 sets to work with, and those that are up front for that of the 13 of Cameron Sarton, he is going to be only having 1 more set to work with. I believe also the 5, as Scott Rickard's only got 1 more set to work with. So these drivers all have to be concerned about what their tires are going to be like and when to use that final set.
Yeah, if you're a 13, having only 1 set left like that, you're definitely concerned. You're a driver that is saying, man, I don't want to come in here right at this point and waste that last set. If we have a caution, then you don't have anything to put on. So I think you're going to see a lot of drivers be conservatives. Look at Brian Burchett, man, continuing his good run, trying to make the move, just couldn't get it done right there. But it's going to come down here to this last set of tires. When do you want to put it on? Do you even put it on here? Do you try to stretch it? There's going to be so many different options for these drivers here. We're just going to see who plays the right option. That's going to be the question.
And you're looking for any way to get an advantage on the track like these drivers are searching for, go to that at Advanced Sim Racing. It's one of the best places, one-stop shop to get yourself a sim chassis or just simulated racing apparel and retail, as you're looking at these drivers racing right now. But Advanced Sim Racing, use the promo code FreakyFast5, get yourself 5% off at purchase at at Advanced Sim Racing. and it is one of the best places to go. It's practically the eBay of sim racing, as it is a great place to start. And as well, if you're looking to get even a better advantage in a way to, instead of just hear, but feel all the action, get yourself a butt kicker. Use the promo code FreakyFast20 for 20% off, getting yourself a Gamer 2 from Butt Kicker.
Great sponsors there we have is the Great Racing. We're also seeing is starting there was holding on Burchett. Now he's going to have Trey Jackson here in the 31 machine, who's having a great run from 21st up to 6th, and seeing some great racing. But tell you what, we're also going to see some great racing on March 19th. That's right, our next special event has been announced here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. We're going to be doing 6 hours at Sebring for our charity of choice here at Gamers Outreach. It's a charity that helps out children at hospitals. It brings them a chance to play video games, have luxuries like that where they cannot get from their beds. And man, it's just a really good charity. If you have not heard of Gamers Outreach, make sure you go check it out. I'm going to put actually the entry form here out in the chat here. So if anybody's interested in running that 6 hours of Sebring, we're going to be utilizing the LMP2 car and also all the GT3s, just like we did at Daytona there for 6 hours here live on Freaky Fast Broadcasting on Saturday, March 19th. And it's going to be in the daytime, a little bit earlier start, so we don't go so far into the evening, so maybe it works out a little bit better for everybody's time schedule. So if you're looking to sign up for that, I'm gonna put the link in the chat, and then also I'll put our fundraiser link there if you're looking to donate to the charity there at Gamers Outreach.
Yeah, it was so crazy looking back to that first charity race that we put on, the 6 hours of Daytona for diabetes, and that was an amazing event that we had raised over that of $1,500. And what a great event to even be a part of, broadcasting every single hour of that race. Going to do the same thing with 6 hours of Sebring. Hopefully you can sign up, drivers can get in, it's free to get in. We just really encourage to donate to help out any way you can with charity of our choice. And Zach, it's been great trying to get this thing set up. I know you've been doing a lot of the grunt work trying to get this next race set up, and I'm excited for when it comes. Again, March 19th, going to be when the 6 hours of Sebring hits Freaky Fast, and for all the drivers there, getting ready for their final practice, for that will be a week before the big iRacing Sebring race. But us here tonight, we still got a lot of racing to go as the laps tick away. It's still Kyle McCoy, but with a larger lead than expected. He's got himself over a 4.5 lead gap, but the racing for 10th place, still one of the best racing action on track.
Yeah, it really has been some of the best racing back here. You can see them all doing battle here. It looks like Hasty there in the 9 machine going to get passed there by the 24 machine of Brian Lynch there, who is 2 laps down on a looks like a newer set of tires that are going by, so just shows you the tire difference. But yeah, this track has been having some great racing, but the driver I think who benefited the most from really that caution, the whole situation of that wreck, was Kyle McCoy. He had so much pressure from Scott Ricker in the first run. Now a 5-second lead, Kyle McCoy has got to feel a lot less pressured when he's going through traffic, and probably able to make a lot better decisions and a lot less risk in that 7 machine here coming down to the end.
Yeah, the risk really isn't there right now. I mean, he's got such a big bubble. He can really slow down if tires or fuel is an issue for himself, with over a 5-second gap lead now to Ken Campbell. The comfort zone for Kyle McCoy certainly just rises each and every lap. Do want to give a note, though, Nick Holland, who was up in our top 11, decided to come into pit road and get tires and fuel. So we're starting to see a few more drivers trickle in. We're still waiting for everyone in the top 14. And will they think about coming into pit road as the highest runner of drivers that have come into pit road already? That is going to be Derek Offerman in 17th place, 1 lap down.
Yeah, and it's been a bumpy night here at Rockingham, a bumpy surface, but back to the leader of Kyle McCoy, our past season champion in the Xfinity car. I mean, what a bumpy season he's had. I mean, just looking at his stats wise, just starting out a season with a 28th place finish there at Daytona, then heading to Michigan, 26th, 27th at Atlanta. I mean, it was just a not great start from there. Luckily, he goes to Sonoma, backs up there with the 6th place finish to get the season turned around, then brings in the win at Pocono. And then from there, missed the race in Kentucky, had the 27th place finish at Chicagoland, had a 15th place finish at Richmond, and a 19th place finish at Phoenix. It's been a tough season for Kyle. Even with that 1 win at Pocono, he's had a very bumpy season. The speed has been there. It's just those finishes, and that's been a lot of tough for a lot of drivers. But like we said last season, he was so clutch coming down to the end, and that's what you got to be in the playoffs. If he can just put himself into this playoffs, he's got to be a threat. Everybody knows it. They see what he did last season, even if he's having a bumpy season as he is right now.
And that one win that he got at Pocono has given him a berth to the playoffs so far with where he runs. Would be pushing out one of our drivers that's in the top 12 currently, which would be Trey Jackson and that of Travis Dart. Those are two drivers that are going to be concerned moving forward throughout this regular season. If the drivers have already gotten wins are outside, you got like Timmy McNally, Kyle McCoy. Those two drivers have gotten wins this season, but are outside of our top 12, so we'll be bumping out that of Trey Jackson, Travis Dart. So they need to be running well, and it's kind of hard when you've already been taken out for some of these drivers or have had some rough pointers. So we'll see how well they can go. But man, Kyle McCoy, he's been up front dominating as we're coming to 30 laps to go when it comes across the line. Zach, I think really the big question for some of these drivers is when and if do you have to come into pit road?
That I think the when and the if is the big question for sure, because I don't think it has to happen. If you can make the tire stretch, the fuel mileage should easily go there, in my opinion. The tires are going to be the key. Right here coming down to it, we're at 121 laps. When we get to that 125 mark, that's going to be 25 to go. I think that's about when you'll start seeing if someone is electing to come down and take their last set of tires and they feel like they need to make a green flag stop, it's going to be, I think, that point. But I think majority are going to try to stretch it. I think just in the back of the mind, they know there's not a lot of time to make up that ground. There's, just coming up on that 25 to go mark. That's going to be not very much time to make up ground, but they got to also be very confident that they can make the tires last. It's going to be a tough marker right now as the times are starting to fall away again as the tire wear clicks away.
Drivers that are on the lead lap going to be surrounded with one another. In the thick of all of this is going to be that of Chris Wade and Cole Sketty, third and fourth place on our leaderboard. They've got drivers that have come to pit road, also drivers that are on slower tires. And oh boy, Summers also has 3, a little bit of contact there. Here comes Ryan Lynch on the inside for the 24 by the 10. And the 10 is going to be staying high, which Cole Sketty has the bob and weave. It finds the spacing to come down, and also Trey Jackson, little bit of a squeeze to Sketty onto the 10, but makes it fit.
Oh, definitely very, very close there for those drivers, but man, Sketty made it work. There's Trey Jackson now by Chris S3 there as the top 5 and now gotten by that group. It's definitely was some wild moments there as Wade was able to hold on to third. He's about a second back from his teammate King Campbell. Is right now, it's 8. It's almost 8 seconds up to McCoy. This group, though, all right here from the 6th position on back, really even all the way back to the 8th position, all within about 4 seconds of each other.
Watching right now with Kyle McCoy, he's getting by George Kovacic as he's going to the inside trying to get by the 65. He's got to be careful because 4.5 seconds ahead of our leader is going to be the tail end of a pretty large group in a pack that I don't think the 7 wants to get near, as right now it's going to be all on how fast does Kyle McCoy really want to take off, because there's a nice pocket of fresh air the 7's got in front of him, but he's with having 8 seconds behind him to work with. Maybe you don't want to push too hard here, as you see the 99 fresher tire is going to be making the pass and try to get 1 lap back that he's already lost tonight.
And this is a tough position as a driver. It's always hard to slow yourself down. But Kyle McCoy is almost to the point where you want him to slow down. We've seen already Travis Dart. He's the last car on the lead lap back at 13th. He was the driver that held off, got Rickard and Kyle McCoy early in this run. That that initially brought out that that caution there that stopped all that action. So if I'm McCoy, I don't know if I want to drive up to the back bumper for Travis Dart and catch up there. So if I'm him, I'm trying to save everything I can, try to be nice and smooth here in this final portion of the race, because the only thing that can stop him right now, personally, is if an incident happens and he gets taken out in it, or a caution comes out where we reset this field.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the biggest scare, is if a yellow comes on out. And really, if we're going to see a yellow, it's probably going to be in this large pack where you have Ken Campbell, Wade. They're currently 2 and 3 currently on the track, but then behind them you get drivers that are also on the lead lap. Trey Jackson, Cole Sketty, they're in line. But then there's a couple of lap cars that are coming through. Dylan Glass, the 42, is going to be on the outside making some runs, as you'll see They're coming out of turn 2 in the red. That's the 42. Also, you got the 10 who's a lap down with that pass. It's going to be that of Dylan Glass. It's going to be the first car a lap down as a 10 of Chris Cesare is going to head into pit road.
And this is what Dylan Glass needs here right now. Again, Kyle McCoy has got about half a corner up to Travis Start here. So right now, if Dylan Glass could get lucky and get that caution, he would get that lap back. But right now, he is stuck behind the 4 Aaron Hill trying to make his way by.
Yeah, I mean, Zach, this is 20 laps to go. This large of a lead, I think Kyle McCoy really, if he wanted to, just has to run a half a second off from what he's been running, and he's still going to have plenty of space to work with, save those tires, as well as just wait and linger as the other drivers behind him. They're still having some trouble as ducking it low. It's going to be that of Cole Sacchetti, who goes very low and slow. Might be showing signs of pit road. No, just a very odd exit out of turn 2, and losing ground is the 29.
Looking to see exactly what happened there for him, Sam. It looks like just a little bit of the loss of the rear and could just never get it back going down that back straightaway. So Sacchetti here struggling a little bit. Is now Burchett coming into the picture. Going to try to make some moves on him up here. It's going to have Nick Holland in the 68, who unfortunately is a lap down from pitting earlier in this race, and there he goes by. But man, right now Sacchetti trying to hold on to one of his best runs of all season.
Yeah, trying his best, and that was Nick Holland. A very important pass. Now going to be the first car a lap down is the 68. Just having, split the difference of what Dylan Glass's laps were, as the 68 just putting it on the apron with fresh tires, pitted 19 laps ago, and is flying right now, and is really feeling like there is no risk. Just send. It's going to stick with fresh tires, as now he's going to be below that of third place runner Chris Wade.
And he's doing a good job of using those tires to his advantage here, as Wade has closed the gap down along with Trey Jackson. Look at this. Trey Jackson, Christopher Wade, they have made Kent Campbell under pressure here for the second spot. We could be seeing any of this group, even Aaron Hill here in the 4 machine who's driving up into the picture. Man, it's a great battle here for this top 3.
Hale's trying to get by lap traffic as Glass is moving forward, and as well other drivers as we ride on board with 31 of Trey Jackson. Jackson, like I noted on, 12th in points, needs a very solid day to make sure that he doesn't lose any ground, because the drivers that are outside looking in, they're looking great. Right behind, points-wise, was Travis Butt, who saw his race be concluded on lap 1 for the 00. So this is a great opportunity to gain some points, especially with seeing Brett Sommers not having the best day for himself. Those are some points to be gaining in as well for Travis Dart, not having the best day back in 13th. These are some major points that we're seeing the 31 gain.
Yeah, we're seeing the 31 gain. Definitely major spots here is Trey Jackson. He's been on a roll, man. He's trying to get himself in a better position here at the end of the season, and he's doing it. He has a little bit of a mistake there. It's going to drop him back from Christopher Wade a few positions back here, but Campbell, Wade, Jackson, Hill, all right here under a blanket here, coming down to the end of this race.
And we continue to watch these drivers race on, and I know that they probably hate when I ever bring up this stat or just what has been kind of the trend, but we have seen a lot of wrecks here in the final 15 to 20 laps of these races in Stars and Stripes series. We saw it a lot last season. Wouldn't be surprised if we see it happen again, as a very unexpected DNF. The 10 of Chris Essery was 3 laps down, saw that his opportunities of gaining any more positions are done. He has parked it for the night, going to finish out back in that of 24th position. But Zach, you never know, as we're coming up to 11 laps to go, going to be 10 in just a lap after that. But these drivers, they've got to be concerned of a late race yellow to come out, because we haven't seen too many races go green all the way to the end after a long green flag run.
No, we have not. That has definitely been a trend for sure here at Stars and Stripes. We have seen that caution come at any point. Brett Somers in the 17 machine, he's having a mistake there down in the 3. Glass gets into the back of him there, and they somehow keep it going there down in 3 and 4. And man, I don't know if it's a curse, but here at Stars and Stripes, can we see it go long and green to the end? I don't know if it's possible.
I don't know either. Is really that Brett Somers started off with contact between himself and George Kovacic, which then 17 was just trying to hold on, almost made even more contact with Glass, which almost brought out a yellow. 10 laps to go. It is all Kyle McCoy and McCoy could be a second off of the drivers behind him and still have a big enough lead to win this race. As Ken Campbell, Chris Wade, they are surrounded by lap traffic and just causing them to slow down. Oh boy, as we see second, third, fourth, and fifth, all within a half a second of one another.
Hell makes the pass on Trey Jackson. That puts him up the fourth. Aaron Hell, such a good run here tonight again for this Ford machine. He's closing up to the back bumper of Christopher Wade along with King Campbell. This is going to be a wild battle down to the end for the second spot as Kyle McCoy is 12 seconds out up front. Our battle, though, for second is heating up.
Second place teammates, Ken Campbell, Christopher Wade, they have been friendly for most of this season, but will there be any types of move? Chris Wade has found himself behind the 15 for most of the season. Will Ken Campbell play nice and let Wade make the pass, or will they continue to battle on? Because technically, they're second and third on track and second and third right now in points. As Sierra and Hale continuing to close in the gap, but behind them, Trey Jackson's doing a great job holding off the 20 of Derek Offerman, and Offerman is on some fresh tires, and watch him to try to be a little bit of a switch up and change things here late in the race.
And oh man, Aaron Hell in the floor. He had to run to the outside of the 53. He had to back out of it there. Actually had to lift a little bit for him. So big moment there for that. Man, I'm looking at it. Can Aaron Hell get his fourth top three finish and third place finish to be exact this season? He has been really shown out, as last week he was in the podium. Can he go here as he takes the dive down to the inside, down to 3 and 4, looking for the big move, and looks like it's gonna stick as Wade's gonna try to hold it around the outside. Yes, he does. It's gonna be side by side, heading down to 1 for here with 6 to go.
Next going to be 5 once that of Kyle McCoy comes across the line. But right now, side by side for third place. Who's going to get the podium position? As here comes that of Aaron Hale out of the corner, but Wade with the stronger run, a little bit of draft help from his teammate, but the 4 is far enough ahead. Here he comes, diving into turn number 3, finally clear, going to possibly give a little bit of bump, but the slowdown by the 15. Wade still on the side by side, 5 to go, soon to be 4 when the 7 crosses the line.
Oh man, if the 15 wasn't there, the 4 had him clear. He actually had the lift for King Campbell, like you said there, Sam, and now this is going to give Wade another chance. He gets a little bit too aggressive on the throttle. It's again nose ahead for the 4 machines. We head down to the corner. It's going to be King Campbell, though, parking the bus here on the inside. It's going to stack it all up, and Wade goes around the outside. King Campbell, he must have some type of problem here. He is slowing down rapidly here.
He got on the brakes, slow down a little bit more. He saw it point to slow down the 4, but there goes Aaron Hale on the outside. And just in a blink of an eye, Ken Campbell went from second back to 4th, and it's Chris Wade going to be leading for second. Leader, that of Kyle McCoy, long gone, 12 and a half seconds ahead of the rest of the field, but it's the battle for second. Here comes Hale to the inside, and he's possibly going to make the pass here, but they got to watch out as the 4 gets loose, and it's Wade holding on, but the yellow flag waves! Yellow wave! Oh no!
Once more, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like Andrew Medlin in the 12 machine here, and also Cameron Sarton in the 13. Oh no, 4th caution of the night. Couldn't have come at a worse time for Kyle McCoy.
And it's going to be all that of Sarton, it looks like. And Zach, it was 3 laps to go, and now we're going to overtime for 1 attempt to see who's going to get the win and who's going to come into pit road. This is when the mind games start. As we take a look at what happened here, it's going to be that of Perry. Little bit of miscommunication. 13 runs into him, goes low, and this is when the chaos all begins.
Bounces back up the racetrack here, hitting the inside wall, and Andrew Medlin know where to go in that 12 machine, and heavy damage for both of them. But the question on all of our minds, what do you do pit strategy-wise as they're getting ready to come to pit road? McCoy, such a smart move by him. I think they come to pit road here is he's got a gap build up behind him with the drivers having lap cars in between. Trey Jackson, though, the first come to pit road in the 31 machines. You're still seeing the wreck on the screen. Pit road is getting a little wild.
Every driver that is on the lead lap comes in except for the 31 of Trey Jackson, who is going to take the strategy. I honestly thought for sure we were going to see everyone stay out but the 7 because of how different you were seeing, but only one driver that's on the lead lap to stay out. What a risky move. Also going to be seeing get a wave around is going to be the 68 of Nick Holland, who's going to get the lucky dog spot, and taking a wave around currently is going to be that of Travis Dart. But Zach, overtime. There is only one attempt here in the Stars and Stripes series. They changed it from last season when it was 2 attempts. It's now only 1. So if we race it, we go green. You got 2 laps. You've got the green flag. If we get to the white flag, that last lap, we race to the end. Doesn't matter if they wreck, they continue to race on that white flag. But if a yellow comes out before we get that white flag, the race ends under yellow. So this is very important, where Trey Jackson needs to get a massive run, because if a yellow comes out on that on that first lap, he wins this race. But it also, we saw it on the first start of the race here, Zach, wheel spin could be the big factor on if the set on the 31 wins or loses here tonight.
Man, he is in a tough predicament here, Sam. These are some of the oldest sets of tires we've seen all night long. I mean, we're talking lap times in the 26:47 range. That is 3 seconds off the pace of what these guys started at. He's going to have a tough time. The tires are going to cool down a little bit. There's going to be a little bit of grip come back to him. But, man, if he can get a little bit of a launch, it's going to help. We've seen, like you said, if that yellow comes out quickly, he holds on to the lead just long enough, he gets that win. We've seen a yellow already happen before we even got to the middle of turn 1 and 2. Man, I think that's Trey Jackson's only hope here, because those tires are going to be so off the pace. The drivers that are behind him, though, going to have to stay heads up here. Cannot drive through him here just because he's on older tires.
I'm surprised I did not see anyone try this, Zach. No one went with 2 tires on this pit stop. I thought for sure we could have been seeing someone opt to try to take a little bit of track position with a risky call. Everyone decided to just stick with the 4 tires and fuel, get back out there. And up front, as we get we're going to be seeing the lights on the pace car go off. Trey Jackson, Kyle McCoy, Chris Wade, also that of Aaron Hale, Ken Campbell going to be your top 5 with Brian Burchett, Patrick Hasty, Scott Rickard, as well as Cole Sacchetti, that of John Dart, Nick Holland, Andrew Medlin's into pit road getting service done for himself, and that of Travis Dart. Going to be your 13 drivers on the lead lap. Going to get ready to go green here. Zach, final thoughts before we go in our one and only overtime attempt.
Well, man, I tell you what, everybody better be ready for this one. This is about to get wild here. Let's see who can pull it off. Trey Jackson, old tires. Can McCoy get the win that he deserved?
It's overtime. This is it. The only time that these drivers get to their final restart. It's the Stars and Stripes Cup Series, presented by that of Sharp Apparel. Race 10. Who could lock into the playoffs? Who's going to get another win? We'll find out. It's green at the Rock 150. A great restart for the drivers up front, but it's Trey Jackson. He's slow. He's low. There goes Chris Wade to the inside.
Christopher Wade here, the closing laps here. He takes the lead off of turn 2. What does McCoy have as they bounce off here turn 2? Ken Campbell up to 3rd, Hale Belt to 4th.
This is Chris Wade's first time leading laps all race long. Kyle McCoy's going to have one more lap. If we get the white, we don't. Yellow flag waves. This race is done. We don't get another attempt. Chris Wade gets his win finally here, and it takes 10 races this season, and the 53 goes to victory lane. Kyle McCoy never even had another chance. Ken Campbell gets 3rd, and 4th, seeing that Trey Jackson goes with the possible net gain, and looks like we'll wait and see confirmation on where he goes. But what a way to end it, as this is what brought out the yellow, as it's going to be that of Brian Burchett, one of our biggest movers all night long, spun around, bringing out the yellow here on the final lap, and gives Chris Wade the win. See the 383 just on the racing surface, nowhere to go. Everyone tries to evade, but at this point, the yellow flag had already waved. It was already done. And now crossing the line, 1 attempt, and that was it. And it goes to that of Christopher Wade in the 53. Zach, all season, we questioned when was he finally going to get the win, and he finally does here at The Rock.
What a job by Christopher Wade. I mean, we've seen, like you said, so many times this season on the podium. And, I mean, what a restart from the high line from 4th place. He just timed it perfectly. He's seen Trey Jackson take the jump there, coming to that green flag there, going down to the end. And he just went right through the middle, cut off the 7, made the pass. What a job by him. But you got to feel for the 7, too, who had a gigantic lead with that caution coming out.
I mean, dominated this race. If the yellow had not come out with 3 laps to go, this was all Kyle McCoy's race, but with Trey Jackson staying out, it made it to where Kyle McCoy was not the control driver, was just floundering to try to get back onto the throttle, not able to do so. And it was Christopher Wade that got the better launch. And it was the restarts that we knew that was the factor on the first start of this race. It was a factor again here on our one and only green-white checker. Christopher Wade here at the Rock gets to burn it down. And as we get to check out and see the 53 burn it down, we'll step aside. We'll pick up our top three: Christopher Wade, Kyle McCoy, Ken Campbell. We'll talk to our top three for our post-race show here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Freaky Fast Broadcasting post-race show here for the Stars and Stripes Cup Series, race number 10 for the Rock 150, and it's that of Christopher Wade getting the win. But to start things off with our driver's interview, we're going to start things with third-place finisher Ken Campbell in the 15 and get his point of view of how this race went for himself. Ken, it's Sam and Zach up in the booth. What a race, overtime. What was going through your mind, though, coming to the end of what would have been the regulation race before that final yellow flag waved? What was going through your mind when it was getting very racy with four drivers on top of one another?
Yeah, so like with about 10 laps to go, I just kind of sighed out of relief, and I was like, all right, me and Wade, we're chilling. We survived. That's all I wanted to do at the last short track was just survive. And we're having a good little chat, and then we look up and Trey's pressuring him, and we were kind of talking about that, and then Hale came out of nowhere. I don't know if he was on fresher tires or what, but things turned bad real quick, and it was like, oh, okay, we got this, we got that, and it was getting hectic. And then I saw the caution, and then it was like, do you come in, do you not? It all hell broke loose in a matter of about 10 seconds.
Yeah, it definitely did, Ken. Congrats on third, man. Another great run for you. As like you said here, the short track portion of the season, man. You finished fourth, second, and third now. How does it feel to get through these three tracks here with all top five finishes and two podiums, man?
I am just completely relieved. Just glad to get it over with. Let's move on.
For sure here, Ken. I also want to get your thoughts. I mean, you've first three races of this season, you saw Wade behind you for two of those three wins. What's going through your mind when you saw going into that green-white checkered and the 53 was leading this race and you were in third?
I almost wrecked him because I was cheering so loud for him when I saw him dive down and get into first, going into the first turn. I was just cheering so loud, and I'm like, oh, I got to be quiet. He's got to focus. McCoy's hell of a racer, and he's going to try to make a move. But basically the last two laps was me just cheering Wade around, going Super 5-3, just the entire way. But I mean, that was a fantastic restart. I'm glad Wade's getting his due. He's a fantastic teammate, fantastic driver, fantastic person. I'm so glad that Super 5-3 is in the winner circle today.
It was a wild race, but Ken, you were up front for most of it, finishing third. And before we let you go, the floor is yours for any shout-outs.
Yeah, first and foremost, my wife and kids, they're very supportive of sim racing. My mom and sister, thank you, Wade, for getting me in trouble for not calling them out and giving them a shout out. So thank you for that. We'll have to talk again if you shout out my sister again. But thank you to my mom and sister for watching. My sponsors, Campbell's and Auburn University, everybody here at the league, and you guys up in the booth.
It's going to be Ken
And
Campbell.
more important to the Super 5-3 for winning and getting in the playoffs.
That was going to be Ken Campbell in the 15. Got to be a relief knowing that your teammate is for sure locked in at this point, and also another fabulous finish for yourself. Good luck, Ken. Going to Charlotte next week.
Thanks, guys. War Eagle.
And it's going to be a roller coaster here for the race and for these interviews because second place finisher Kyle McCoy is not going to be feeling too great. Kyle, we've got Sam and Zach up in the booth. You dominated most of this race. You saw really this race was locked up in yours, but with 3 laps to go, that yellow flag waves. At that point, what was going through your mind?
Yeah, this one is frustrating to say the least. This one's hurt more than a lot have before because I really brought it tonight and it just I mean that's racing for you, right? Yeah. I'm sorry, I forgot your question. I just it's
It's just what was going through your mind there late when that yellow came out, and also just what was going through your mind during overtime.
yeah. Well, I know you guys probably remember. I'm trying to forget the Xfinity race from last season here, where I dumped it on the restart. So obviously, call it a little overcorrection, if you will. Trying to be safe on that restart. I knew Trey up there was on old tires. Trying to be careful. Chris got a fantastic restart. He deserves a ton of credit. I don't want to take that away from him just because I let a lot of laps, but he deserved it. But yeah, I was trying to be careful and a little too careful. I got to be honest with you. I even though it looked like I was careful, I spun him there too. So uh, I don't know what to tell you. It's a frustrating loss to say the least. We finally had. I feel like this whole season it's been one thing after another. We got internet issues, we got wrecks, we got fuel mileage running out on the last lap. You got anything you can ask for. So I mean, I thought we were gonna turn it around tonight, but yeah, that's what I was thinking. Was a little too careful.
Hey, Kyle, man, I tell you what, heartbreaker up here in the booth, definitely for yourself tonight, man. A dominant performance in that 7 machine. But nonetheless, man, like you said, been a bumpy season. It's been ups and downs. Other than the one win there at Pocono and the 6th place finish at Sonoma. Every other finish outside, it's been outside the top 15. So even though the domination, here tonight, it's got to be tough there to lose that late in the going. But to get a 2nd place finish here with 5 races left to go before we head off into the playoffs, how important do you think that'll be to get you on the right track, like you said, and get this all turned around?
Certainly helps, right? Like it's better than it's better than 8 other races this season. So yeah, it's nice, but I got to be honest with you, I wanted that P1. It first or second doesn't mean a whole lot to me at this moment. It will tomorrow. It doesn't right now. So yeah, wanted that one. It's nice to put another top 5 in the column, but really I just wanted to increase the win column. Thought we were on the way. Just about got there. I'd really love to know what happened there at the end. But there's 30 other guys. They all got their own prerogative at the end of this race. So can't blame anybody except for myself for not getting a good enough restart there at the end.
I mean, Kyle, I would imagine you want to get out of here as soon as possible. A great run, just fell 1 position short. And before we let you go, the floor is yours for any shout-outs.
Yeah. Travis and Brian. I mean, Brian Burkett was on a tear. He's about to have one of his better runs in this league tonight before getting caught up in something late, which is part of the chaotic mess that we call green white checkers, right? Love to see a couple more of those if we could get those, but that's the rules. We follow them. Yeah, Brian, great run. Working really hard. Travis, Travis and I have had mirroring seasons. We're both kind of having similar luck right now, unfortunately. And he got some more tonight. I hope he can turn around because he had the same speed that I did tonight. So Got to thank my teammates. Got to thank Nate and Derek and Brian and everybody who puts this league on. They do a great job. Get a lot of dramatic finishes. I feel like every week we got something fun for you guys to watch. So hopefully you're enjoying it. You guys put on a heck of a broadcast. This if this season ends the way it's started here, you're gonna have a heck of a playoffs to watch. But yeah, thanks to everybody who puts it on. Gonna try for one spot better next week. I feel like I'm bringing it now, so better watch out. I'm ready for it.
We can't wait to see you bring it there, Kyle. It's going to be Kyle McCoy in the 7, getting second place here tonight, and good luck going into Charlotte next week.
Thanks, boys. We'll catch you then.
And now we bring in the driver that's been second fiddle a couple of times, but finally finds himself in victory lane. Second, no more. It's going to be that of Christopher Wade winning here at the Rock. Congratulations, Chris. How is this one feeling, knowing that you helped Ken so many times throughout the early portions of this season, and now since we're getting close to the playoffs, you find yourself in victory lane?
Yeah, it feels awesome. Never would have guessed to be winning here tonight. It was just pure luck.
Well, Chris, I tell you what, man, I don't know if that restart was pure luck, man. That was a heck of a restart there, starting from that 4th position behind the old tires on the outside. I'm sure probably coming into that position, you probably thought you were not in the greatest spot behind the old tires. I mean, take us through that. How surprised were you that he got going that well also?
Yeah, I was very surprised. I didn't think he was gonna get going, and then Kyle he told me he took it really too easy, and then once I squeezed in between them and got around him, it was going. I think the caution definitely saved me because I didn't want to win like that really, but I mean it would have been. I was getting really too excited, and I probably would have looped it, to be honest with you, but it was definitely Kyle's win though.
Yeah, I mean, Chris, we were getting excited up in the booth. I mean, we knew a win was coming for yourself at some point with how many great runs you've had this season. How does this feel, actually getting this win and knowing that we now only have 5 more races until the playoffs?
Yeah, it feels good. I definitely needed to win the advance because this is it's a tough league, one of the toughest leagues I've been in. So I definitely it's yeah.
Well, Chris, before we let you go, the floor is yours for any shout-outs.
Yeah, I want to thank my mom and dad and AC Two Skins. He's the man that does this awesome rap, and Nate for putting on the league, and Derek and all those guys. You guys for broadcasting. I'm going to give a shout out to my partner Ken and all my teammates, Mike and Nate, and then Ken's mom and sister and his family, all those guys, and then Kyle. It was definitely his win, but so I'm gonna give a shout out to him.
That is going to be Christopher Wade in the 53, getting the win here tonight. Congratulations, Chris, on this win, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you, man.
Well, Zach, I mean, what a race it was here tonight. The Rock. I mean, that's not even really this racetrack. It is this league as a whole. Always bringing the thunder. You never know what you're going to see, but overtime or a late race restart always seems to be lured in the back of our mind, and it strikes once again here tonight.
I mean, you hit the nail on the head there, man. That is this league. These guys have always got some type of excitement, luring right around the corner. I mean, sometimes it's massive, giant wrecks that you never would expect. Sometimes it's those late race cautions where you have these crazy restarts like that, and just great finishes here, man. It's always action packed, always great racing. And it just excites me for another playoff season upcoming for us here after only 5 weeks up here left in the regular season. Those playoffs, it's heating up here for this Cup Series.
These next 5 races are going to be crazy to watch, but we're going to take a look at these unofficial racing results because the way that it just shuffled up, it got wild and crazy. Getting the win, going to be that 53 of Christopher Wade with Kyle McCoy and Ken Campbell, who we got to talk to during our post-race show. Then you also had Aaron Hale and Trey Jackson finishing out our top 10. Trey Jackson, only driver that didn't come into pit road there on that last stop, and was was able to come away with 5th. Great job on his part with Scott Rickard. A fabulous recovery for the 05 and 6. With Cole Sacchetti, Patrick Hasty getting a top 10. Congratulations to the 9, as well as 66 of John Zart. Nick Collin able to finish out in the top 10. And you look at some of the other drivers, I mean, Medlin got himself caught up in the tracks. Travis Dart, who was one of the drivers that got caught up with Scott Rickard, able to finish up in the top 15. But Zach, when you look at the rest of the leaderboard, where these drivers lie, I think our eyes always are going to trail down to the final 7 on where the heck did they, I mean, what a terrible restart first lap. But great, you know, they're going to have to figure out how to find a great finish in these next couple of races if they want to come back with a good finish.
Oh, for sure. As you look down into that order there, Travis Butt there in 27th. That's one that sticks out in my mind. Kyle Bowling, that was a tough night for him even there. Finishing 26th. Chris Estrie back in 24th. Last week's winner starting back in 23rd. And then also the pole setter Grattan. I mean, what a great night for him it was to start off on the pole. It all went up in shambles in the very first lap. So just shows you you're never safe, man. And I mean, I'm sure a lot of these guys are happy to get out of this short tracks, man. They're going to head off to Charlotte next week, and they're going to be a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more at ease knowing that track a little bit easier to tame, in my opinion.
Yeah, the next 5 tracks, all very different in the different styles you have to attack. You got Charlotte, the classic 1.5-mile track that everyone knows on iRacing. And then you go out to Watkins Glen, one of the most well-known road courses in stock car racing. And then you go to Darlington, where you never know when the Darlington stripe is going to hit, within what I call the flat Darlington, going to Gateway at that of the Worldwide Technology Raceway. And then the finale of the regular season, Zach, Talladega, to see who's locked in to the playoffs. That final regular season race, it is going to be even crazier than what we saw here tonight. We cannot wait for all that coverage. Big thanks again, Zach, for joining me. My name is Sam, and there's one more person to finish out our call. So we're going to head over to our production studio where we've got Robert Moyer to give his final thoughts.
All right. Well, thank you, Sam. Thank you, Zach. Man, this again, ladies and gentlemen, they don't let us down here. It's always action-packed racing, and we don't know, as much as you don't know, how this stuff is going to end. And believe this or not, the drivers don't know how this is going to end. It's crazy. It's crazy just to think how this all goes out. But congratulations to Christopher. You know, he battled all night, and he gets the win and locks himself into the playoffs, something that he's been striving for the past couple weeks. And he finally gets it in there. You got Ken Campbell into the playoffs. You got Scott Rickard that's going to be into the playoffs. So like you guys said, the playoffs are going to be very, very interesting when this comes up within there very soon. Just a little over a month. So, man, I can't wait. But thank you, everybody out there, for tuning in here tonight. Tonight is the first night that we are back on Facebook. So make sure you share and like the stream over there on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. If you're watching on YouTube, you can watch it at 1440p on YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and like button on YouTube, and share it to your friends of your social media platform of your choosing. We do much appreciate that. But yeah, we're going to be on a whole bunch of different networks now here, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you pass on the word to get more fans out there to come out and watch you week in and week out. But with that being said, what's going on here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting? Well, we are off tomorrow night, but you can see there on the screen, we are going to go to the good old New Hampshire Saturday night with NISCC Cup Series, as they're still battling in the playoffs, trying to lock the top 4 into the playoffs and see how that all goes. As last week, me and Sam Dyer called the race, and we did talk about something on Saturday night. Their championship race is going to be at Chicago, and we never called a championship race at Chicago. So if you don't want to miss any of that action, you know what to do out there. Again, hit the like, follow, share buttons all over the social media platforms. We do much appreciate it, and the leagues appreciate it. But with that being said, here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting, we want to say we'll catch everybody on Saturday night. But until then, have a safe Friday, and we'll catch you Saturday night. Until then, God bless everybody. We love yous all. Peace out.